If you ever need legal advice, did you know there is a free legal clinic for the public? That's right. It's called the State Bar of Arizona. Please meet Jessica Sanchez. She is the president of the Board of Governors for the State Bar of Arizona. So good to have you with us.
Thank you so much for having me.
And here's a cool resource for all of you, a free monthly legal clinic. That's fantastic. Open to the public.
Open to the public. The State Bar sponsors a free legal clinic. The topics vary month to month, but it could be things like family law, employment law, landlord-tenant, estate planning, and this is just one way we're trying to outreach to the community.
Right, and if you can't go in person, you have a free online public directory. Explain that.
So the State Bar also has an online directory of all of the attorneys in Arizona who are licensed to practice, what languages they speak, what areas of law they practice in, whether or not they have malpractice insurance, and whether or not they're in compliance with the state's ethical requirements.
Yes, and if you need an attorney, of course, oftentimes your anxiety is going, something has happened. What a great tool to find out whether someone you're hiring is actually licensed.
Exactly. Or even to find someone in the first place, because many people don't know a lawyer to call. So the State Bar can help people to find a lawyer.
And the cool thing is you have a great website, a lot of tools and resources there, and it's growing. Tell us about this law library. This is fun for all of you out there. Cool little videos.
Yes, so many resources on the website, but we're very proud of these those little vignettes that we have started. The topics are, it's just 3 minutes, how to legally change your name, how to get an order of protection, how to find a lawyer, how to talk to a lawyer, and which questions to ask when you're hiring a lawyer. Again, just little ways to demystify the legal process and make accessing legal services easier.
Right, so when you are in contact with a lawyer, you know what you're talking about, right? So you've kind of got us prepared, and we may not need a lawyer after all,
right,
if we can get those questions answered on that vignette. All right, tell us about your partnership. I know you don't do this alone, with your sister organization, the Arizona Bar Foundation.
The Bar Foundation is a phenomenal organization that we absolutely support their efforts, but they put on pro bono services, they have low-cost services, they have a number of programs just to, again, promote access to justice for the public. They also can connect members of the public to other legal resources throughout the state.
And it's important for people to know that the state of Arizona really leading the way in who can actually own a law firm.
Yes.
And more importantly, how quick we can get access to legal advice.
Arizona is making a number of innovations to try to, again, increase access to justice for the everyday consumer. So one of those innovations is who can own a law firm. Traditionally, only lawyers could own a law firm, but now we're looking at letting other experts be a part of a law firm so that you can look at how to lower costs, how to add more services. The state of Arizona is also, they have licensed legal paraprofessionals. These are non-lawyers with special knowledge who have a license, who have to abide by the same ethical requirements as lawyers, but it's like visiting a nurse practitioner. You know, sometimes you don't need an attorney to do a task, and this might just be another alternative to provide faster, more affordable services to the public.
And you were saying that allows the lawyer to be the lawyer and someone else to run the firm.
Exactly, and a lot of this is really, again, the lawyer can focus on being the lawyer or coming in like a doctor might for the complicated issue.
Yeah.
And it's all just innovations to try to make legal services, again, more available to the everyday person.
What are consumers sharing with you very quickly about these resources? That must be just huge.
These are brand new innovations, so we're still evaluating the impact, but so far we've had positive feedback about how these legal paraprofessionals have helped to their attorneys and how members of the public are able to get quicker, easier access.
Absolutely. Jessica, thank you so much. Again, free monthly clinics offered to you. If you would like more information, please call 602-252-4804 or visit the website azbar.org.